In just a few days, Jujutsu Kaisen Season 2 will start airing, and when combined with the place the JJK manga is currently at, fans of the series have a lot to look forward to. So in this video, I'll be talking just a little bit about what fans should be able to expect from Jujutsu Kaisen for the rest of 2023. Starting off with the anime exclusive stuff, Jujutsu Kaisen Season 2 is debuting on July 6th, just 5 days from the release of this video. For anime onlys, you guys can expect 2 main arcs of content, with one relatively small arc wedged in between the two. I know that in Jujutsu Kaisen Season 1, a total of 4 arcs were covered, but this season is going to be adapting one arc in particular that blows everything else out of the water that we've seen in the series thus far, which is the explanation for the smaller amount of arcs covered. In the past, Jujutsu Kaisen arcs were lucky if they hit 20 chapters in the manga, but the Shibuya incident arc is a whopping 50 plus chapters on its own. On top of this, it has been confirmed that just like with Season 1, Jujutsu Kaisen Season 2 will have 2 back-to-back cores of anime, totaling 23 episodes in its entirety. This essentially means that there will be no break between the first and second half of the season. This episode count all but outright confirms that both Hidden Inventory and the Shibuya incident arc will be adapted in this singular season, so for all of my manga fans that were worried about that, you have confirmation there. Now I know that some people are worried about MAPPA's ability to properly pace this much content with only 23 episodes, but knowing exactly what they'll be adapting and how quick certain chapters will fly by, I think it's safe to say that the anime can be properly paced, if maybe a bit fast in some areas of the season. Jujutsu Kaisen Season 1 had 24 episodes and covered a total of 64 chapters worth of content. Anime fans seem to be rather satisfied with this adaptation, and as a manga fan, I can say that the pacing was handled really well here, even relative to the manga. If Season 2 covers everything up until the final chapter of Shibuya, 71 chapters of material will be covered, not straying all that far from how quickly the original season handled things. The fact that there is a greater amount of content to cover and smaller number of episodes, though, may concern some people. But just remember that the first series of Jujutsu Kaisen had to establish the main characters, the story, the power system, and the world of Jujutsu Kaisen as a whole, so it makes sense that the seasons following it will have the ability to move a bit quicker. We already know who Gojo is, we already know who the main cast is, we already know the general power system and things of that nature, so a lot of what was established in Season 1 can be taken for granted in Season 2, and we can move forward a bit faster with less exposition. It's also totally possible that we'll get an hour-long special episode, which is something that some other popular anime have decided to do in recent years, particularly Oshi no Ko and Demon Slayer Season 3 come to mind. So just generally speaking, there are a bunch of different ways that Season 2 can happen without totally ruining the content that it is animating. Basically, it means that you shouldn't really worry about the anime from a story or pacing perspective, and barring any crazy unforeseen events, we should all be set for a great narrative experience. What this also means is that for anyone who's going into this season of Jujutsu Kaisen blind, you are about to witness a level of greatness that Season 1 just couldn't give you. If you already enjoyed the story, the characters, the antagonists, the fights, and the power system, you can expect more of that to be explored in Jujutsu Kaisen Season 2, and you can expect all of it to be amped up to new heights. No spoilers here for what exactly is going to happen, but I will say that this should be a very exciting time to be a fan of the anime. Even if you haven't been spoiled, I'm sure that you've heard at least of the Shibuya incident arc numerous times and heard the hype that people have been giving it just based on its manga. And I'm here to say that, yeah, most of, if not all of the hype is true. The Shibuya incident arc really is something special, and it totally changes the status quo of the series, so I can't wait to see a new wave of people experience that for the first time. Even people that I know that don't particularly love Jujutsu Kaisen read the Shibuya incident arc and genuinely felt that it was a top-tier arc in battle shonen, period. So if you're someone that is enjoying JJK, that really did thoroughly like the first season of content and are just excited for more, Shibuya should be exactly what you're looking for. That being said, that doesn't mean that you should sleep on the first arc that is going to be covered this season. Shibuya may be great, but Hidden Inventory is also an amazing arc and does an amazing job of fleshing out some fan-favorite characters, as well as introducing one that I think will be taking the anime fandom by storm. From here on out, Gege really hits the gas with his story and just doesn't let up. Now, As you may have noticed if you've checked out the Jujutsu Kaisen trailers and teasers for this season of anime, the general art style of the series had a pretty massive overhaul, and this can be largely attributed to some pretty big staff changes. A new character designer and, very importantly, a new director worked on this season, and I think you can tell just by the way the characters move and how soft and simplistic they look relative to their season 1 counterparts that the director came in and wanted to make some significant aesthetic changes. I know some fans are worried or disappointed about the lack of detail in each frame, but I think this jump to simplicity should be applauded and looked forward to, as I think it will result in some really ambitious action scenes and fight animation that we wouldn't have been able to get in the season before. Overall, I can say that from a personal level, I like the style a lot more that we've seen in the trailers than what we got to see in Jujutsu Kaisen Season 1. The first season is just amazing and super ambitious in what it tries to do, and I think it looks really good, just to be honest, but Season 2, or at least the teasers for what we've seen of that season so far, really has me confident that we will be getting something even beyond what JJK Season 1 could provide for us. I, for one, am excited, and I think that fans should be able to expect the big moments of Jujutsu Kaisen Season 2 to truly pop, potentially even more so than the first one. As for new voices and characters, we can expect Takehito Koyasu, the voice actor most popularly known for voicing Dio and Zeke from Attack on Titan, to be doing the voice of Toji. I think he'll be able to really embody the presence and aura that we need for Toji in Hidden Inventory, so I'm truly excited to see how his acting of the character plays out. Other than that, I'd be looking forward to what is hopefully going to be a great opening and ending, and some fun sound design to accompany the necessary tone for the next few arcs that Jujutsu Kaisen is about to cover. In a couple days, we'll finally be getting to experience new anime content for the series, and I'm just so excited to get into it. Now, changing gears a little bit, let's talk about what I think we should look forward to when it comes to the manga this year. The Jujutsu Kaisen manga this year has been pretty hectic. Ask any fan of the series and they will tell you that it has been pretty insane. Gege has made many decisions in the past 6 months or so, some that I liked, some that I didn't like, but no one can really deny that what he's been doing has been interesting. And with us being in the midst of Sukuna versus Gojo, the strongest versus the strongest, I gotta say that the hype train doesn't seem to be stopping anytime soon. Talking about expectations of the manga is a lot more difficult than discussing the future of the anime though, because considering that I'm not Gege or God, I don't really know for certain what's going to happen even one chapter from now. But I will say that I only expect things to escalate from here, even if they're not necessarily focused on Gojo. I've mentioned this before, but I personally think Gojo has to lose this fight with Sukuna in order for the story to move forward in any capacity. You can check out this video right here if you're interested in further details, but I simply think that it's time for these students to step up, take charge, and awaken. Characters like Yuta, Hakari, Maki, Kashimo, Miwa, potentially Nobara, Megami, and obviously Yuji all have big things set up for them that Gege can pull the trigger on at any moment. I'm particularly excited to see how Kashimo's fight with Sukuna plays out, even if it's only so that we can see what his technique is, but I also can't wait to see how characters like Yuta develop from watching the two strongest characters battle it out. Maki is someone that's kind of in this weird nebulous space where she's had a lot of her character growth so far in the series, but I can still see her having one or two really big moments in a fight either with Kinjaku or with Sukuna, just to really show off the full extent of her awakening. Miwa's obviously going to get her get back against Kinjaku, and while this may be a long shot, I would really like to see our original trio back together for one last big fight. But if not, I do think that Yuji and Megami are going to have one pretty serious confrontation with Sukuna before the story ends. Now, in terms of time frame, I'm going to be completely honest with you guys. Gege said that he plans to end the story by 2023, and while it's technically possible because I mean, I guess everything is, I really just don't see it. At first, when this statement came out, I kind of panicked and assumed that he would be rushing towards the finish line, and while he's moving faster than he did before, I just don't think he's on track to actually wrap up and conclude Jujutsu Kaisen by then. With everything that we still have to see from the characters, I don't think that the story can conclude itself reasonably in under 30 chapters and not be a jumbled, confused mess. Now, just to be blunt, Gege has frustrated me with a lot of decisions he's made in the story, but I still do trust him enough to ride the story out to the best conclusion that he can possibly make. We'll obviously be much further along in the story by then, most likely encroaching on the true final plot points and character moments of the manga, but something in my gut just tells me that by the end of 2023, the story of Jujutsu Kaisen will still be ongoing. Regardless, whether you're an anime-only, dedicated manga fan, or both, I think it's safe to say that the rest of 2023 will be great for you as a Jujutsu Kaisen fan. If you're new to the channel, stick around, subscribe, comment, do all of that good stuff, as I have a ton of content that I'll be making during Jujutsu Kaisen Season 2, and over 100 different videos covering numerous different aspects of the series for you to check out at your own leisure. I hope you all enjoyed the video, and I hope to see you in the next one.